So this quick video is about the first few minutes or the first 5 minutes of your driving test and how it can affect you and the things that can go wrong. So let's make a couple of assumptions already. You've met the examiner, you've done your show me questions at the beginning, and you've got in the car with the examiner. They've explained what's going to happen at the beginning of the test. They've explained what sort of things you're going to be doing. At that point, the examiner says to you, right, start the car when you're ready and we'll move off. At that point, you might feel nervous. But while you're listening to the examiner, he's explaining things to you, what you can do is have a little bit of water, have a little drink. Gets rid of that dry throat that you sometimes get, and it also helps your concentration levels, because at that point then it makes you feel nice having a bit of water, and you can focus straight away and listen to the examiner at that point. And when he starts saying to you, right, off you go when you're ready, okay, start the engine, have a look round, take your time, and you're moving off. That's in an ideal world. When I took my test, I must have been the worst starter of a test ever. I got in the car, I was already nervous, and when the examiner says off you go when you're ready, I tried to pull off, and I'm not joking. If you stood outside the car watching my car, the car literally bunny hopped in the first few minutes going up to the first junction. I kangarooed it that high. I felt the car lifting off the ground, and I got to the first junction to emerge right and stalled, and I just said to myself, James, you're driving like a novice. Just concentrate on your driving and just drive simple. And it switched off my nerves at that point, and then I drove quite nice. And the rest of the drive was all right. And luckily, the examiner put it down to nerves in the first few minutes and just let me off, and I was fine. But this is what happens. Your nerves affect your driving, and people do silly things. I just explained what I've done, and it was silly. But looking back on it, it was funny for me. But at the time, it was a stressful situation. So what can you do? Well, you can certainly, like I say, have a little bit of water and just try and calm it down. And there's a little video I can put at the top for driving test nerves that might help, and I'll put a playlist at the end that will help you as well. But so you've started, and if you are feeling nervous, that's going to make you feel as though you've got to rush. Nerves does the strange things to people. They'll either rush, or they're going to sit back at a junction and do nothing and be overcautious. So when you're first out in the first few minutes, you've just got to concentrate on trying to drive like normal. So when you're pulling off, make sure your pedals are right. Make sure you're doing your observations. Make sure that you're not doing something silly. When you come to your first junction, if you're not sure, slow down and have a good look. Don't pull out like a rocket, because people pull out in the first few minutes and make silly mistakes. When I speak to pupils or different instructors, they all say the same thing. People tend to fail at the beginning or towards the end. I mean, people fail all the way through the test for different things, but the majority of people will make mistakes at the beginning because they feel a little bit nervous and a bit rusty, or at the end of the test when they feel a bit overconfident and they start letting the guard down and they start over relaxing and thinking that they've done enough. So at the beginning is quite important, because that's when people make mistakes mostly. And you've got to make sure that when you come to that junction or the roundabout, you know what you're doing. If you're not sure, you're slowing down and having a good look. And when you are pulling off, you're making sure you're doing the right things. And the other thing would be is when you're driving along the road, and after, say, a couple of minutes of driving, you'll find that the nerves will calm down and you'll be able to concentrate more on your own driving. And just keep remembering what you normally do. Just keep yourself busy. Don't, if you're at a test centre, when you come out at the test centre and it's a nice, clear, quiet road and there's nothing to do, don't start going to a trance like this, nothing to do. Focus on what you should be doing, which is keep an eye on your speed, keep an eye on what's happening behind you, keep an eye on what's outside of you. So your mind's ticking over all the time, and that'll keep yourself busy. Keep remembering, what's the speed limit ahead of me? What speed am I doing? Is it reasonable speed? Should I be going over that speed bump that fast, or should I be slowing down for it? Anything else like that. So all these things you've been taught with your instructor, and you've learned from your little mistakes that you've been doing, you need to keep doing these things and keep focusing. And as you drive along on the test, you'll naturally get back into it more, and the nerves will disappear as it goes along. And I mentioned about the end of the test. Lots of people coming to the end of the test will fail, coming to the test centre, or fail in the last few minutes. because they think they've done enough or they think it's over. Keep the concentration levels and just say, you know, when I've sat in the back of cars on tests and I've listened to the test and I've watched it, I've always noticed that in the first 5 minutes a bit nervous, and the last 5 minutes they start to speed up. It's like they're racing to get back to the test centre, and you've got to keep saying to yourself, right, what's happening behind me, what's happening ahead of me, what's happening at the side of me, what speed am I doing, I'm in the right gear for that speed bump. Keep your mind, is it safe to go past that car, or should I be giving way? And the amount of people who chance going past the parked car in the last few minutes when all they've got to do is give way to oncoming cars is unreal, and then they fail for meeting traffic. So keep yourself focused, all right? Keep your concentration levels up, and remember, you're still on the driving test until you park up at the end, secure the car and turn the engine off. At that point, the test is finished. But keep your concentration levels up, and if you do make a mistake on the driving test, whether it be in the first few minutes or towards the end, and you're having to deal with the situation, don't rush. Go at the speed you normally go. If you rush, you're probably going to stall, or you're going to not check something. Okay, so I hope this quick video is going to help. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe. If you like the video, give it the thumbs up, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon on the next videos. And take care. Safe driving.